Please enjoy part 2 of the Men in Black Cryptozoology on World of Monsters. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, please click anywhere on the screen on the annotations, and if you can't find them, you can find the link in the description below. Thank you and enjoy.
Are we talking about death here?
Ufologists, whistleblowers that have possibly taken it too far. Morris K. Jessup wrote a book entitled A Case for the UFOs in 1995. He was digging deep, and he didn't succumb to all the threatening phone calls that he received. No, and he did have various hard times, but one night, he contacted Dr. Manson Valentine about some extreme information on the Philadelphia experiment. What happened the next day? He was found dead, and it was presumed to be suicide. Suicide? Really? After finding some crazy evidence that he really wanted to share, he would just kill himself that night? I don't think so. Even after a detective looked into this episode, he stated himself that he appeared to be murdered, but made to look like a suicide. Frank Edwards, a broadcaster, even after being threatened many times, he wrote a book called Flying Saucers, Serious Business, 1966 published. Also, he died suddenly one day. It was said to be heart failure. And a note to ufologists out there, it was indeed 21 years after Kenneth Arnold's famous UFO sighting. Jim Keith wrote a book called Case of the Men in Black, 1966. He also appeared on the Late Night Show with Johnny Carson. Now, even though Johnny Carson kept episodes of the show before 1969, this episode of 1966 has been deemed lost. Jim had a feeling that if they got a hold of him, the MIB, he wouldn't be coming back. One time, he fell off a stage and broke his knee and died. Died from a broken knee. Impossible, no, but extremely rare. Let it be known. Are you ready? Are you listening? Pay attention. Over 300 outspoken ufologists have died before their time. That's right. Over 300 ufologists have died before their time. But on a beam of hope, let's look into the more current observers and researchers out there. John Rhodes, a ufologist known for his research into conspiracies, reptilians, and just been an all-around, well-known crypto hunter. He was once investigating the caverns of Arizona when he was met by a couple of strange MIB that knew his name and threatened him. They mentioned the miles and miles of caverns that one could disappear in and no one being anywhere near to find the body. Even though this event happened out in the desert, their car was spotless, their clothes, their boots were shiny. Everything was totally clean. No signs of dust, no signs of sand or anything of the like over them or their vehicle. Dave Rosenfeld, a website owner and researcher of the unknown, had a visit from the MIB at 8 p.m. stating that they were agents of the government and that he had to take off the major military test secrets that he had posted on his website. They personally watched as he deleted all the information from his website. Stan Romanek claimed that a UFO buzzed his duplex. The next day, he found strange markings on the building. The next day, a weird crew appeared working on his house. Later, when he spoke to the landlord of the situation, she knew nothing. Even the phone number that was on the crew's van led to nowhere. Dan Aykroyd, you know, that guy you've seen on TV, started out in Saturday Night Live. If you didn't know, Dan is quite the ufologist. Dan is well known for his research and intensive knowledge on the matter. Now, Dan was working on a show called Out There. He was working with and interviewing other known phenomena researchers. During the last episode, Dan went out for a break, and across the streets of New York, he saw an MIB stop by and give Dan a dirty look. That's right. It was just for a short moment, and then when he looked back, the car and the man was gone. Here, see for yourself.
Interviewed all of the people that I admired in various fields of study, like Colin Andrews from the Crop Circle movement, Linda Moulton Howe, the expert on cattle mutilations, John Mack, across the road, a black Ford sedan. And I was trying to look at the plate, and the plate seemed kind of like fuzzy, and I was, definitely a police car. And two guys were there, and a big, tall guy got out of the back seat. And he stood in the street on 42nd Street it was. We were at 42nd Street and 8th Avenue. And he looked right at me. And literally, I mean, I was on the phone. Hey, oh, sure, of course I'd love for the show. Saw the Ford, went back like this, turned back like a half second later, and it was gone. And that car did not go past me.
And surprisingly, after that, he found his show to be canceled.
I know what I saw. Then 2 hours later, we were told we were not to continue taping, and the show was canceled, and none of them would air.
Guys, there are many, many more reports from teenagers to high-ranking military personnel being threatened by the MIB not to further disclose of their strange experiences. Why even take a look at the comment sections below various videos on YouTube, you'll see real people talking about real things out there, real experiences. That's where it's all at, the public. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also comes up during mentions of these covert or black operations. Alright, so let's have some fun here. Let's look deeper into the appearance and the actual concept of the Men in Black. They travel in unmarked transportation, destroy evidence on site, and have been reported to have some inhuman features. So, what are they really? What are the MIB? I'd like to list you my personal 10 possibilities here. Number 1, government agents. Some believe that there are actually 20 sectors above and secret to the president himself. Could the MIB be agents of one of these sectors, or a private organization whose funding, unlike the government's, does not need to be disclosed? A, they could be agents hiding alien information out there, or high military technology secrets. Or B, they could also be false flag disinfo agents, planting false information into the UFO communities and the public. But why? Why would they be doing this? Well, the government doesn't care if we believe in technology from aliens. But if the Russians or Chinese do, then there may be some benefit for the US government. Such agents have indeed come out, such as Richard Doty, as we see him speak in Mirageman, a documentary about government agents that spread alien disinformation to distract the public from the US military truths. As producer of Mirageman says, anyone who spreads rumors or disinformation or misinformation on any topic can become a Mirageman. This makes sense, as we've mentioned. A, there may be agents hiding real alien information from the people and the government. B, there could be agents throwing false information into the public to distract them from secret government facts. And C, there could also be double disinfo agents. Agents that plant false information on aliens into the public just to be debunked and proved to be false, further distracting and detracting the public from the actual extraterrestrial truths in the government. So that was all number 1 of our concept of what the MIB could be, government agents. Number 2 is similar. They could be agents, but not of the government, or maybe of the shadow government, a side government, or the real, deeper government that rules us all, or some other outside private entity. Something more along the lines of the well-known Men in Black movies. Concept number 3, they could themselves be aliens, working with or aside the government. Secret underground bases are a welcoming point into this side of the spectrum. Number 4, looking at the strange behavior of these MIB, they could be androids, that's right, walking robots. If so, who are they working with? Who are they working for? Are they working with the aliens? Are they working with the government? Or are they working with the aliens and government? Or are they just an entity of their own? Number 5, demons or angels? Speaking so much of aliens, there are countless people out there that consider aliens to be demons themselves. Number 6, interdimensional spiritual beings, considering how often they are seen or not seen disappearing. Number 7, time travelers preventing a disastrous possibility. We should consider their ageless attire and the somewhat symbolic hats of the past century. Number 8, shapeshifters, reptilian shapeshifters. That would also explain some strangeness to their behavior. Number 9, simply men dressed in black clothes with a humorous and/or inquisitive intention. And number 10, not to be taken lightly, figments of imagination. People suffering from serious paranoia can see and imagine to perceive very, very intricate things. If you are one to discount any of these as being possible, I ask, Who are you? With that being said, you might be wondering, what is my opinion on the matter? Unfortunately, this is the part of the show where I let you know what I think this crypto's likeliness of existence is. First of all, I would like to say yes, it is very likely for them to exist. That's not the question. The question is, what are they? Who are they? As more evidence of the extraordinary nears us, so do the many lies. Even though there's not much concrete information on the MIB and their origin, it is still an area of study that deserves attention and connects us with far more extraordinary discoveries and speculations in possibilities. Where do we see the MIB in pop culture? Well, we all know of the Men in Black movies, part 1, 2, and 3. And what's fascinating about that is that many do believe that Hollywood and the great writers, directors, and the people behind the scenes slowly hint out actual facts within these various science fiction movies. That they're actually showing us true, amazing bits of facts in a very entertaining manner. Do you believe so, or is the Men in Black franchise just a bunch of entertainment for you and your family? The mysterious Men in Black don't appear much in any other movies out there, although you can find mentioning of them in various songs. In closing, who are we to dictate our boundaries, our limits? Every era unshrouds new perspectives and revolutions in material and immaterial conceptions around us. And if you can't place enough trust in my words or a tiny video like this on YouTube, then look into the greats that you admire, and you will find that truly nothing is impossible, and that reality may indeed be stranger than fiction as we write it. Just don't get lost between the worlds of the real and imagined, sanity and insanity, as at times the line between the two may seem invisibly thin. Stay open, stay focused, and most of all, stay true. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Men in Black on World of Monsters Cryptozoology. Let me know what creature, what being, what cryptoid, what cryptid you would like me to discuss next. Thank you for watching. Check us out on Facebook. Leave a like if you enjoyed this, and let us know what you thought down below. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe. This has been Monster Master Arthur. Until next time. Who are you?
What are you doing?
I'm just making a gaming video for YouTube.